Welcome back to my TCU Dynasty here on College Football 26. So far in Season 2, we are 6-0, and in our first game of this episode, we take on the Arizona Wildcats. Unfortunately for us, there is one thing to go over, and that is that I have changed some of the wear and tear sliders for a reason here, and that is because our star running back Jeremy Payne, well, he has no more health on the season and very little on his career, so I am thinking he is not going to play much this year. I will keep him in the starting lineup, but I imagine he's going to get injured pretty quickly. Another thing I have to go over though is that I have changed our slider set. I was using Playmakers All-American sliders. I really wasn't feeling his new sliders that came out post the update, so we have switched over to Matt 10s. But with all of that said, hopefully it doesn't affect this team too much, and let's jump into game number 7 on this season. Well, Arizona got the ball first, but could not do anything with it, so it's still 0-0 as we come out with a handoff to Jeremy Payne, and he's not going to be injured on play number 1 at least. But yeah, we apparently ran him into the ground. I honestly did not notice the wear and tear going on throughout the season. I still feel like something's a little bit off with the wear and tear. But now on 2nd and 6, we have pimped it open deep over the middle, and he's going to make the catch across the 50. On the next play, we'll come out and run the ball here. We go to the outside with Dawson Pendergrass, who is going to get met and brought down. With the wear and tear to Jeremy Payne, I would imagine most of our carries are going to be going to Pendergrass, and we'll go back to him on the next play for the first down, and we're brought down to 29. First and 10, Hoover all alone in the backfield. We'll take the snap and look to pass. We're going to throw this one underneath. That'll be caught by Coleman, who cuts upfield, and he's going to get brought down to the 13-yard line. Malachai Coleman has been having a terrific season for us. I believe he's a transfer out of Minnesota. But now it's a 1st and 10. It looks like backup running back Nate Palmer has checked into the game. We'll give it to him to go up the middle for a gain of a few yards. That is going to set up a 2nd and 6 for TCU. We take the snap, and a quick throw to the end zone is caught by Malachai Coleman. Touchdown TCU. When we get the ball back, it's still a 7-0 game, but we now face a 3rd and 8 from the 12-yard line. We'll drop back to pass. We're going to throw this one to the outside. That's caught by Pendergrass, who will have to fight and not get the first down. 4th and inches. This deep in our own territory, we are just going to punt this one away. And then in simulation, our defense would force a turnover, so we get the ball now at the 45-yard line. We'll start with a handoff to Pendergrass, who will start this drive with a gain of 3. And we're going to go right back to him on 2nd and 7 out of another shotgun set. And this play's not going to get anything. So how about a 3rd and 8 now? Hoover out of shotgun. We'll draw back to pass. We're going to go over the middle. Never mind. I wanted to go deep to Malachai Coleman. They got pressure, and we'll punt it away. Following that drive, they would end up with a field goal to make it a 7-3 ball game here. We'll take the snap. We're going to start this drive with a screen to the outside, caught by Pendergrass, who will cut back in, and that's only going to be a 5-yard play. Not having Jeremy Payne is really going to slow down our offense, I feel like. I really don't think it's going to stop too much of our production, but it's definitely going to slow it down because we lose a lot of speed. But Pendergrass will have the first down. From about the 44-yard line now, Hoover will take the snap and look to pass. And we're going to throw this one over the middle, and that linebacker is not going to be able to make the play. I thought Coleman could get behind everybody. That will bring up a 2nd and 10, where we're going to come out and throw another screen to Pendergrass. He's got 3 blockers on the outside. He makes the catch, and we'll have the first down to about the 45-yard line, and we're into Arizona territory. Here we go out of a pistol formation on the next play. We'll run the play action, and not seeing anyone come open, really. We're finally going to let this one go to our running back, and he's not going to get much. And by not going to get much, I mean he loses a yard. So now it's a 2nd and 11. We'll drop back to pass. We're going to go to our tight end, who will make it a 3rd and about 3. We'll see if we can convert on this play or if we will be trying a long field goal. We're just going to let this one go to Coleman deep downfield in one-on-one coverage, who will make the catch. Touchdown TCU. That man has been an absolute monster for us this season. Handoff to Pendergrass on the next drive, and that's going to be a loss of 2. That play will take us down to the 2-minute timeout. Now on a 2nd and 12, looking to pass, rolling to the outside. And we're going to let this one go to McQuinn, who will make a jumping reception. And no, he can't come down with it. Now a 3rd and 12. Hoover will take the snap and look to pass. We'll throw this one underneath. That's caught by McQuinn, who will have to fight for the first down, but not quite get there. On the next drive, we are back at our own 7-yard line with about 40 seconds to go here in the first half. And we'll hand it to Pendergrass for a gain of a couple yards and burn our first time out. Now on a 2nd and 6 with 38 seconds to play in the half. We'll take the snap and not seeing anyone come open deep, so we'll throw it underneath, caught by Coleman, who will get out of bounds. A shotgun set from the 19-yard line. We'll drop back and look to pass again. Waiting for someone to come open. We'll roll to the outside. And I think we're just going to take off with Hoover here and get out of bounds while getting a first down. We ended up burning a little more time off the clock than I would really like on that play, but it's still 23 seconds to go. We'll drop back, and we're going to throw this one towards the sideline, caught by James, who goes out of bounds. About 18 seconds to go here in the first half now. Hoover will take the snap. And we're going to lob this one downfield, and I want to put that a little further downfield, but we make the catch anyway. We'll burn a timeout. 12 seconds to go. We're at the 20-yard line. With another shotgun set, Hoover will take the snap. And we're going to throw this one. I believe that is going to be Coleman underneath, who will cut back in and fight down to the 3-yard line. We burn our final timeout with 7 seconds remaining. Back in a shotgun formation again. We'll take the snap, roll to the outside, and once again go into Coleman, who will make the catch. And just like that, he has 3 touchdowns here in the first half. And on top of that, we get the ball to start the second half. So from the 25-yard line, we'll run this counter play to Pendergrass, who has the first down, and a lot more here all the way across the 50. I'm not going to lie to you guys. On that play, I definitely felt the loss of Jeremy Payne because I feel like he would have been gone. But now we're going to go to Pendergrass downfield, and he's going to make that catch and get us all the way down to about the 20-yard line. The very next play would be an incomplete ball, so it brings up a 2nd and 10, where we'll come out and give this one to Pendergrass, who is going to get met and brought down in the backfield. That will set us up with a 3rd and 11. Hoover out of shotgun. We'll draw back to pass. We're going to fire this over the middle. That's caught by McQuinn, who cuts upfield, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, TCU. And when we step back on the field, we're at the Arizona 39-yard line with a handoff to Pendergrass for a gain of 1. Now we're out with a 5-wide set. Hoover will take the snap and look to pass. We're going to roll to the outside. We're going to go deep downfield. No, we're not. I honestly thought I could hit Devin McQuinn running open downfield, but no. So now on a 3rd and 9, we'll look to pass. We're going to go to McQuinn here, who will make the catch for the first down. So now from the 24-yard line out of shotgun, it'll be the RPO that we go to Coleman on the outside. Coleman picks up a good block, and we'll get close to the marker. They rule it 2nd and inches. So from the 14-yard line, we will come out and run this one to Pendergrass, who will get the first down and fight his way to about the 11. Hoover back in a shotgun set again. We'll take the snap and looks to pass. We're going to go to McQuinn, who will catch this underneath, cut up field, and get into the end zone. And that is touchdown pass number 5 tonight for Josh Hoover. We will get to come back out once again here in the 3rd quarter with 3:22 to go, with a quick pass to the outside caught by James, and that's going to be a gain of a few yards. Arizona would have an injury on that play, so it does stop the clock. So now it's a 2nd and 7 from the 31. It'll be a handoff to the outside, and Pendergrass trying to get to the outside will break that tackle and then get met and brought down for a loss of 1. That sets up a 3rd and 8. Time to find out if we can keep our drive alive here out of a shotgun set. We'll draw back, not seeing anyone come open. Trying to dance around the pocket a little bit. We'll finally let this one go downfield to Coleman, who will make that catch. Are you kidding me? But he fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Arizona. I'm relatively positive he was down, but we'll see if we can actually get this man, and he's going to get forced out, but we are probably going to challenge that. And they, in fact, would overturn that call, so we do get to keep it. Handoff to Pendergrass, and that's a loss in the backfield. That brings up a 2nd and 13. Hoover will drop back to pass. We're going to go to the outside, which will be caught by James, and that sets up a 3rd and 4. Hoover back in a shotgun set again. We'll drop back and look to pass. A wide open man, but that gets knocked down at the line. We have an injury along our offensive line, but now we will come out for a field goal try to attempt to make this 38-3. So we'll line up, and hopefully this one's good. Kick is away, and it will be no good. Is that the first time I missed this year with him? It might be. But our offense is going to get a chance at redemption because on the first play of their drive, they would get picked off. So now we come out of the 15-yard line with the screen pass to Pendergrass, who goes to the outside, breaks that tackle, breaks another one in, fights his way all the way down to the 1-yard line. This will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We take the snap. It's a handoff, and Pendergrass is into the end zone. Touchdown TCU. And I'm not going to lie, that's probably going to be it for the starters. Jumping ahead a bit, we're in the 4th quarter. It's a 3rd and 12 with 8:43 to play. Adam Schobel is in at quarterback, and we're going to go downfield for Small, but he overthrows him. Nothing else to show in this game, so we're going right to the end where the final score is 42-3, and we improved to 7-0 on the season behind an amazing day from our quarterback. Officially, he finishes 24 of 30 for 359 yards and 5 touchdowns today. On the ground, Pendergrass ran for 84 yards and a score, and then receiving is Malachai Coleman. You guys know who my main target is. 9 for 166 and 3 scores. Devin McQuinn, 4 for 59 and 2 scores. We do have a new commit for this week. It is defensive tackle Bernard Dominguez out of Houston, Texas, and that is the only one we land. And on the Heisman watch list, which is quite a list right now, you have DJ Lagway at number 1, Malachai Coleman at number 2, and then 3 Ohio State players, and Julian Sayin, Mylan Graham, and Jeremiah Smith. So obviously Ohio State seems to be a pretty stacked roster. But now we move on to our next game where we are back in Amon Carter Stadium taking on the BYU Cougars. And we will get the ball first today. We're going to start with an RPO to the outside caught by James, and that's going to be a gain of maybe a few yards. They actually give us 3. And once again, Jeremy Payne is in to start the game, but I imagine this will be his only carry today as it's going to result in, I think, nothing. And now Jeremy Payne is injured. That sets us up with a 3rd and 7 now. Hoover back in shotgun. We'll drop back to pass. Looking to go downfield. We are going to go to our tight end, who is open across the 50, across the 40, and we'll finally get met at the 37-yard line. A 43-yard play, or a 40-yard play, I think. I wasn't counting those original 3 pass yards. So now we'll come back out in a shotgun set on the very next play, and we go to Pendergrass to the outside, who will break 1 tackle, but then get met and brought down for a loss of 1. And the injury report said that Jeremy Payne has a dislocated thumb, so he might return, but I highly doubt it. 2nd and 11, dropping back to pass, rolling to the outside. And we're just going to let this one go for a jump ball in the end zone, and it will fall incomplete. Why did I let that one go? Because I trust my receivers. Now on 3rd down. We'll drop back to pass. We're going to trust our receivers again. This time it's Devin McQuinn, but he can't come down with it. That leads to freshman kicker Jamie Battle coming out for a 55-yard field goal try. Kick is away, and apparently I forgot how to kick. But when we get the ball back, it's still a 0-0 ball game, so we'll come out in a shotgun set and hand this one to Pendergrass, who will end up with a 5-yard carry. So now from about the 40-yard line out of a shotgun set, we'll take the snap and look to pass. We're going to go to a wide open man, or at least I thought he was wide open. Braylon Jones makes the catch to set up a 3rd and 3. I apologize, it sets up a 3rd and 2 from the 43 if I said that incorrectly. So now out of a shotgun set, we'll take the snap. And it'll be a handoff, and I completely forgot it was an RPO, but we get the 1st down anyway because Pendergrass can break tackles. With a shotgun set yet again, Hoover will drop back and look to pass. They're bringing a blitz, so we're going to go to the running back, who's wide open for the 1st down. On the next play, we would lose a yard with a handoff to Pendergrass, so now it's a 2nd and 11. We'll drop back to pass, and we're going to throw this one over the head of Braylon James. That sets up a 3rd and 11. We'll take the snap and look to pass. We're going to lob this one downfield, and James will make the catch for the 1st down. Hoover back in his shotgun set again. We'll take the snap and once again looking to pass. We're going to try to get rid of this one, but take the sack, and it looks like BYU has an injury. I won't lie, that was an insanely stupid sack to take there, so now a 2nd and 21. We'll take the snap, and we're going to go deep downfield for McQuinn, who's open, makes the catch, and he's gone. Does that make up for the sack? Probably not, but we'll take a 7-0 lead. However, our defense felt uncomfortable with that lead, so they allowed them to tie it. It's 7-7. We come out of the 31-yard line with an RPO that we're giving to Pendergrass, who will get the 1st down on the 1st play of the drive. Once again, back in his shotgun set, Hoover will take the snap, and Coleman's going to be in a foot race, but we didn't have the time. Otherwise, I think Malachai Coleman would have added another touchdown to his resume this season. So now on 2nd down, we'll drop back to pass, and rolling to the wrong side, we'll throw downfield. That'll be caught. Never mind, it's dropped. So now from the 45-yard line, it's a 3rd and 10. Hoover will take the snap, stand in the pocket. We're going to throw this over the middle, caught by Coleman, and yeah, he's gone. Touchdown TCU. Okay, our defense once again allows a touchdown, so it's 14-14 when we come back out. We'll start with a play action, and we're going for the lead right back as we'll find Coleman downfield, and once again, he's gone. The speed with 6'5" height is just unmatched. You know, I say it's unmatched, but our defense is letting them match up real nicely. It's 21-21. We'll come out with a handoff to Pendergrass up the middle for a gain of a couple yards. 2nd and 8. Back in shotgun again. Hoover will take the snap. We're going to throw this one underneath. That's caught by McQuinn, who cuts upfield for the 1st down. Out of a shotgun set again. We'll drop back to pass. We're going to go to Pimpton over the middle, who will not make the catch. It gets intercepted. I did not expect the linebacker to go make a play on that one. BYU will take over. And for the first time today, the Cougars have a lead, 21-24. They got a field goal out of that drive. We're going to come out and throw this one to McQuinn. There is a flag down. We'll juke to the outside as McQuinn will get met and brought down to 45. But is that play coming back? It looks like it. Instead of a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line, it's a 1st and 20 at the 15. So Hoover will now drop back to the pass, and they are leaving Malachai Coleman wide open. I don't know what you're trying on defense, but that definitely was not it. From the 5-yard line, we'll just walk into the end zone. BYU would end up with another field goal on their drive to make it 28-27. And we'll come out to start this drive with a handoff to Pendergrass, who goes to the outside, and there is a flag. Are we really going to get called for something on a 1 or a 2-yard gain? Yeah, we are. That makes it a 1st and 18. We'll come out and take the snap and look to pass. We're going to try to get rid of this one. It falls incomplete. That brings up a 2nd and 18. Hoover will take the snap, and we're going to throw this one underneath to Coleman, who will try to spin out a defender, but get brought down to bring up a 3rd and 12. From the 33-yard line now, under a minute to go here in the first half. We will take the snap and look to go downfield. Rolling to the outside, trying to buy some time. And I see people open downfield. Don't know if we'll make it, but we'll take that throw, and it'll fall incomplete, and we will punt this one away. And we actually get the ball back here in the first half with 3 seconds to go at the 49-yard line. We're sending everybody to the end zone and just going to let this one go, and hopefully one of our guys can come down with it. There's a jump ball, and it falls incomplete. Following that, BYU would get the ball to start the second half, get a touchdown and the 2-point try, so we are down by 7. Handoff to Pendergrass, who will fight up the middle for a gain of about 5. That sets up a 2nd and 5. Hoover out of shotgun will run the play action. Looking to go downfield. And we're going to let this one go for Coleman because why not? He stops to make the catch, and he's across the 50-yard line. Back in a shotgun set for this play. Hoover will take the snap. It's going to be a screen pass to the outside, caught by Pendergrass. He's got one block right here, and that is a major block as he gets the first down, brought down to the 25. On the next play, we're going to go right back to him. We'll take the snap, and he tries to follow the blocks up the middle for a gain of 4. Now a 2nd and 6. We'll take the snap and look to pass. We're going to roll to the outside. Never mind. We're just going to try to get rid of this one. It's a jump ball that's caught by Pendergrass. I honestly panicked and just hit a button, and it somehow didn't end in a turnover. So I'll take that. A 3rd and 3 with a 5-wide set. Hoover will take the snap and look to pass. We're going to go to McQuinn, who will make the catch across the 10-yard line. Never mind. That's Braylon James. That is not McQuinn. But either way, it still is a 1st and goal from about the 7-4. So we'll come out and give this one to Pendergrass and not find any space. That brings up a 2nd and goal from the 10, and we are going to run the ball again. As Pendergrass goes to the outside and does not pick up any blocking, so it's a 3rd and goal from the 7. And I just want to show y'all this real fast. No one's on McQuinn, so we're going to take the snap and throw an out route to him, and he'll make the catch. Never mind. He dropped it. All right. Awesome. Just great, hands on that one, McQuinn. So we'll come out for a short field goal that hopefully I can make. Kick us away, and it's good. And then our defense finally holds them to no points on a drive. So we'll come out with an RPO, going to the outside, caught by Small, who's going to turn that into about a 10-yard gain. Brings up a 2nd and 1 from the 29. We'll take the snap, and we go to Pendergrass, who has great blocking and the first down all the way to the 45. This one might end up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Hoover will take the snap, run the play action. And it's just a shot play where no one's open. We'll roll to the outside and just throw it away. We start this 4th quarter down by 4. On a 2nd and 10, we'll drop back to pass. We're going to go to Pimpton over the middle, who will make the catch for a huge gain here into BYU territory. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Hoover out of shotgun. We'll drop back to pass. We're going to throw this one underneath. That's caught by Coleman, who's going to go up the middle and end up with an 8-yard play. With a shotgun formation, we come out and take the snap. Drop back to pass. We're going to throw this one to the outside. It's caught by our running back, who will have the first down. No, they rule it 3rd and 1. We are just going to trust our back on this play. We go right back to Pendergrass, and they read it perfectly, and we have an injury. So we have a 4th and 2, down by 4, and a decision to make here. And if you guys know me, you know this wasn't really much of a decision. We are going for it here. Out of a shotgun set. And we're going to throw this one to our tight end. Pimpton will make the catch and may find the end zone. He'll break that tackle and fight his way in. We take the lead with about 10 minutes remaining. And then our defense gets us the ball back with 9:15 to play. So we'll take the snap and a quick underneath throw caught by Coleman, who will use his speed to the sideline and get all the way to the 38. He is at 277 yards today. Just a couple run plays later, we now face a 3rd and 8. We'll take the snap, roll to the outside, and we're going to throw this one on the run. That'll be caught, and James holds onto it for the first down to the 47. So we get to keep chewing away at the clock here. About 7 minutes to go. We'll take the snap, hand off to Pendergrass, who will cut back in and end up with about a 7-yard run, and BYU has an injury, so the clock will stop. On the next play, we take the snap. It's a read option, but we give it to our running back anyway, and he will break that tackle and fight for the first down. Just about 6 minutes to go here in the game now. We'll take the snap. It's a handoff to Pendergrass again to go up the middle, and this time he'll fight his way forward for a 9-yard play to bring up a 2nd and 1. On the next play, it's a shotgun set. We'll take the snap. We're going to take that RPO because we have a blocker out there, as James will go up the sideline, cut back in, and get brought down to the 6-yard line. But now they have another injury. So the clock would stop at 5:29 to play in the game. From the 6-yard line, we give it to our running back, and Pendergrass up the middle is into the end zone. Touchdown TCU. But our next drive will be massive as our defense allowed a touchdown. So we still only have a 3-point lead with 2:59 to go. We just need to run down the clock. It's a draw play. And Pendergrass up the middle for a gain of a few yards. They burn their first time out. That was weird there for a second because I feel like after I broke that tackle, I really couldn't control my running back and the animation like really slowed him down. So now with 2:55 to go, we'll come out with a screen to the outside. That man got through the screen, but it does not matter. First down TCU to the 45. With now 2:49 remaining from the 43-yard line, we'll come out with a handoff. Pendergrass to the outside will break that tackle, but gets met in the backfield for a loss of 2. They burn their final timeout. But as a quick reminder, the clock will stop at least one more time for the 2-minute timeout. So on 2nd and 12, we'll take the snap, go to Coleman, and that blocking is not going to set up at all. We lose a yard, and we should get to let this run down to close to the 2-minute timeout. We're going to wait and snap this at the last possible second. Out of a shotgun set, we will take the snap. Rolling to the outside. And Hoover's just going to take off. Can we get to the marker? No, we can't. I was really hoping I could juke that one guy out, but could not do it. So we will punt it away and count on our defense. Let's see where I can hopefully pen them deep here. Don't want to put full power behind this punt, and we don't. So it will backspin, and it's going to bounce over everybody. And had you not touched that, it may have bounced off the back of that dude's head. So I believe for the first time this season, we will watch the defense try to win us a game here. They'll take the snap and look to pass. He's going to be under pressure and get sacked on the play back to the 10-yard line. That play made by redshirt freshman Jared Martin brings up a 2nd and 18 for BYU as they're going to try to run a no-huddle offense here. Everyone trying to get lined up. They'll take the snap, and it looks like we're bringing quick pressure again. He's under pressure, and he will get brought down. They rule it no gain on the play, so once again, they will run no huddle. It's a 3rd and 18. You know these receivers have to be tired at this point. He'll take the snap and look to pass. Stay in the pocket. He's going to let this one go deep downfield. He's got a man, though, and that's going to be caught, and I guess he's not too tired. Touchdown, BYU. You have got to be kidding me. Is that really how our undefeated season may come to an end? Because they didn't expect this guy to go deep downfield. Well, I don't know how many of you guys are going to believe this one, but I tried to simulate the extra point, and it actually got blocked. So now we get the ball here. Can we have a big return? We actually are. Can we be gone? No, we can, but we are close to field goal range. I never do the kick returns, but I knew they burn off a lot of time, so I wanted to do that one. Obviously, it paid off. So thanks to an extra point getting blocked, all we need is a field goal to force overtime. We're going to throw this one over the middle. That's caught by McQuinn, who will make some people miss and get brought down to the 40. And I accidentally left shoe clock on because I'm an idiot, so it does run down a bit of time here. But we'll drop back and look to pass again. Fire over the middle, caught by Coleman. Never mind, it's incomplete. But now let me go ahead and, that is not the button I need. That is actually incorrect. I need this to turn off shoe clock. Yeah, I won't lie to you guys, I'm a complete moron for leaving that on. But now 17 seconds to go in the game. Hoover will take the snap. We're going to step up, and we're going to fire this over the middle. That's caught by Coleman, and that will be a first down. We'll burn our first timeout. With just 12 seconds remaining, Hoover will take the snap and looks to pass. Rolling to the outside. Throwing on the run. That might get picked. Never mind. Coleman makes the catch, but goes down because I honestly didn't think he was going to get there. So with 6 seconds to go, I think we have time to run one more play to try to get a touchdown. We do have one more timeout, so it's just a 2nd and 1 from the 8-yard line. We'll take the snap. Of course, we're going to our number 1 receiver, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Malachai Coleman with 3 seconds remaining. And following the kickoff, that would burn off the rest of the time. So just a good old-fashioned Big 12 shootout in this one, where Malachai Coleman probably just broke some sort of record, I would imagine. 11 catches for 316 yards and 4 touchdowns. 6'5" with 98 speed is a little bit broken in this game, I won't lie to you. And most likely a record-breaking day for our quarterback as well, going for 592 yards and 6 touchdowns. On the ground, Pendergrass ran for 73 yards and a score. We've already been over the amazing day that Malachai Coleman just had. Devin McQuinn also got a touchdown along with Pimpton. And like I said, I was pretty positive he was going to break some sort of record. So Malachai Coleman has set the TCU single-game receiving yards record. Yeah, over 300 yards, probably going to do that at most schools. Oh, he has also already set the TCU season receiving yards record. Okay, yeah, you know what? This has been an insane year for him. We're only 8 games in. He already has that record. What other record could he have possibly broke? The TCU single-season receiving touchdowns record. And yeah, obviously, Malachai Coleman takes home the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week award. I would be shocked if we don't see the National Offensive Player of the Week award, and there it is. And I am also not shocked here. With that performance, he goes to number 1 on the Heisman watch list. Just to see his season stats so far, so you guys are aware, 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. We're only 8 games into the year. Obviously, not super realistic, I'm not going to lie to you, but also you guys have seen all of those touchdowns. I don't really think I'm playing unrealistic. I think he's just kind of busted in this game. But it is now time to jump into our next game of the season against the UCF Knights as we try to continue our undefeated season. Alright, UCF would get the ball first, but could not do anything with it, so now we jump into our drive where we're going to give it to Jeremy Payne just to get him out of the game today, because that's just what's going to happen, and he's brought down for a loss of 2, which immediately now brings out Dawson Pendergrass for a 2nd and 12. You know what? Load up, go deep downfield for Braylon James. Let's see if he can make the catch. He cannot. 3rd down. Well, let's see if we can avoid a 3-and-out. Hoover will drop back to the pass. We're going to fire this to our tight end who will make the catch, but cannot get the 1st down, so we will punt it away on 4th and 3. Well, UCF would capitalize off that and go up 7-0, so now we are down. Hand off to Dawson Pendergrass to start the next drive, and that's going to be a gain of 3. So now a 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line. We'll drop back to the pass and roll into the outside, trying to find somebody open. We'll just get rid of this one, and it gets intercepted. I honestly just tried to throw it as far downfield as possible. I think it was Coleman, but there is a flag. Is that coming back? Pass interference on the defense. So yes it is. We get out of that. That sets up a 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Now we'll hand it to Pendergrass, who goes to the outside, and we'll end up with an 8-yard carry. That now sets up a 2nd and 2. Hoover back in shotgun. We'll drop back to the pass. Looking to go downfield, not seeing anyone come open, we'll take the sack. That now sets up a 3rd and 13. Hoover will take the snap and run the play action. Looking to go downfield, we'll let this one go. That's caught by James, but never mind, he can't hold on through the contact, and we will punt it away. When our offense takes the field again, we're at the 39-yard line of the Knights, and it's a 1st and 10. Still a 7-0 ball game. Hand off to Pendergrass, who will go up the middle for a gain of about 8. That now sets us up for a 2nd and 2. Hoover will drop back, and it's going to be a screen to the outside. Caught by Pendergrass for the 1st down, and it will be met and brought down to 23. 1st and 10. 2 running backs in the backfield. We'll run the play action. Now we're going to go downfield. We're going to throw this one to Coleman, who will make the catch but can't hold on to it through traffic, so now it's a 2nd and 10. From about the 23-yard line, Hoover out of shotgun. We'll drop back, roll to the outside. We'll throw this one on the run, and that'll be caught but get brought down. And we have an injury along our offensive line. It sets up a 3rd and 8. Hoover back in his shotgun set again. We'll take the snap and look to pass. We're going to throw to McQuinn over the middle, who will make the catch and keep our drive alive to the 9-yard line. A 1st and goal out of a pistol formation. Hoover will take the snap, roll to the outside. And we're just going to try to take off with Hoover. He may have a lane to the end zone, and he will. Touchdown TCU. We get the ball back at our own 20-yard line, but so far it's just a couple run plays for Pendergrass, and it sets up a 3rd and 5. So to avoid a 3-and-out, we're going to throw to Pendergrass, who will make the catch for the 1st down. Another shotgun set for TCU. We're just going to load up and launch this as far as we can. That is double coverage against Coleman, and he still nearly came down with it. It was in his hands, but he could not hold it through the contact. That sets up a 2nd and 10. We'll come out and run the RPO to the outside. Caught by Small, who will end up with about an 8-yard gain. That sets up a 3rd and 2. We're going to come out with a toss play. It's going to go to Coleman to the outside. He picks up the block, and he has room to run down the sideline across the 30, the 25, and forced out of the 23. Back in his shotgun set again. Hoover will take the snap and looks to pass. We're going to throw this one downfield. I really wanted to go with that corner route to Pimpton, but he could not get enough time. So now it's a 2nd and 10. Pendergrass is lined up in the backfield here. From the 23-yard line, we'll give it to our back, who goes up the middle and ends up finding his way for an 8-yard gain to set up a 3rd and 2. From the 16-yard line, Hoover will take the snap and looks to pass. We're going to go to James over the middle, who will make the catch and get brought down at the 5. And I believe that's the same guy that got injured earlier, at least, maybe not in this game, but in this episode, he was hurt. 1st and goal from about the 5-yard line. Hoover will take the snap and looks to pass. We're going to go to McQuinn on the outside, who will make the catch, and that sets up a 2nd and goal from the 1. And we are just going to give it to our back and hope he can find his way into the end zone. Pendergrass comes out in the backfield from just inside the 1-yard line. And no, because that guy doesn't get blocked at all. 3rd and goal from the 4. Hoover will take the snap, a quick throw, and it's Malachai Coleman. You guys knew I was going to find him at one point today. About 3 minutes to go here in the first half. We're going to jump in on a 2nd and 10. We did start this drive with no gain for Pendergrass, but now we're going to drop back to pass. And Coleman's in a foot race, and we have to go to it. It's just there, so touchdown TCU. We get the ball back with 2:04 to go here in the first half. And once again, sending Coleman on a go route, but I don't think he came open that time. That's going to be incomplete. Did I really only look for Malachai Coleman on that play? Yes. Was Braylon James wide open? Absolutely. That's who I tried to go to at the end. It didn't work out, but now we're going to get no gain from our running back. Shotgun set. Hoover will take the snap and looks to pass. We're going to fire this one over the middle. That'll be caught by James and held onto through the contact to keep this drive alive. 2 running backs in the backfield. We'll run the play action. Now we're going to go downfield. We're going to McQuinn, who's open in the end zone and makes the jumping reception. Touchdown TCU. And we're going to end up getting the ball back one more time before halftime. 18 seconds to go here in the first half. We'll drop back and look to pass. We're going to take this open ball to McQuinn, who will make the catch, and we'll burn our second timeout, apparently. We've already burned one. With just about 13 seconds to go in the half, we'll take the snap and look to pass, and it's going to be Coleman in the end zone. Touchdown TCU. Not going to lie to you guys, I wasn't confident going up to Heisman difficulty, but with the way this season has gone so far, I'm fairly certain I could probably go to Matt 10's Heisman sliders. That pass is going to be incomplete. But we really haven't had much of a challenge so far this season, besides BYU, which ended up just being a shootout. I don't even control the defense, so, you know, my offense played fine. And now we're going to have a 3rd and 6 here on this drive to start the second half. But yeah, I am thinking it's about time to set up a Heisman slider set. We may finish this season on All-American, but next year, maybe a Heisman difficulty. So, fun story about that punt. They fumbled the ball. We would recover. So, we get to come out of the 27-yard line, and we're going to McQuinn in the end zone, and I just got way too aggressive there. They do come away with a pick, and this might be a pick 6. Never mind. He's not that fast. Breaks that tackle, but we finally get him. They would end up with a touchdown off that drive, so it's 35-14. We're going to come out with a screen pass to Pendergrass, who will make the catch, and we'll try to juke to the outside, end up with a 9-yard play. Now on a 2nd and 1 from the 32. We'll take the snap, run the play action, try to avoid the pressure, and go deep downfield. Is that Coleman wide open? Oh my God, it is, and he's gone. You know, it might not be even that I need to up the difficulty. I may just need to upgrade the slider for their pass defense, because I feel like that's the problem here. He was having a really good year before, but this episode has been absolutely insane for Coleman. And the speed threshold slider is actually lower. On the last slider set, it was a 25. This one's a 48, and he's still just murdering them. Like, we've reached the point in the episode where I'm not even really commentating over gameplay because I'm not really concerned about what's going on, because I'm just on autopilot with this offense right now as we get down to the 1. So yeah, next episode we'll definitely have some changes to the slider set because I feel like this was just a little bit too easy in this episode, but we're not going to find the end zone on that play. We'll bring up a 2nd and goal. But yeah, unfortunately, as much as I slider tested this and I really like the way they felt, but I did not slider test with this roster, obviously. And I think that's pretty apparent with the way we've played so far. But now on a 3rd and goal from the 1, can we finally get our running back into the end zone here? 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Handoff, and he's in. The next time we jump in will be at the start of the 4th quarter. It's a 3rd and inches, and I've just put in all of the backups, and he does not get the first down there, so it's 4th and inches. But I want to see what Sal Quasia can do. We've seen our other true freshman quarterback, Jalen Horn. I really want to see what this guy can do. We're going to keep it on the read option, and he's not going to fight through 2 defenders. That's definitely not what he's going to do. Turnover on downs. UCF would end up with a touchdown following that drive. So now it's 49-21. We give it to Nate Palmer, and Palmer's going to start with a 7-yard carry on this drive to bring up a 2nd and 3. But I do want to see Quasia throw the ball a little bit. Let's see if he can actually sling this. We know that Jalen Horn definitely can, and he's going to drop back. We're going to roll to the outside. We'll use his speed. We'll test that out, get the first down, and get brought down to the 46. The next play would just be a 2-yard carry from the running back. So now it's a 2nd and 8, and Quasia will drop back to pass. We're going to try to throw this to the tight end, and that'll be caught by Pimpton, who's still in the game for some reason, despite the fact backups are supposed to be in. But he gets down to the 31. Now back in a shotgun set again. We'll take the snap, run the play action, roll to the outside. We're going to throw this one to Small, who will make the catch and get met and brought down near the 15. Quasia back in a shotgun set again. We'll take the snap and look to pass. We're going to lob this one to the end zone, and that was underthrown massively and really should have been picked off, but luckily it wasn't. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Quasia, out of a pistol set, will go to his back, and Palmer to the outside will make that man miss and get body slammed down at the 8-yard line instead of a 3rd and 2. Letting the clock run down as much as possible here with about 6 minutes to play. We'll drop back, and I was going to try to buy some time with Quasia, but it's not going to work out, and we'll kick a field goal here for about a 35-yard try from Jamie Battle. I have not had a very good episode with him. We did make one in the BYU game, and this kick will be good. We do get the ball back one more time before the end of the game. It's a 3rd and 12 from the 34. Quasia will drop back, and he may have a man open deep. We're going to go for it, and he overthrows him. Look, I told you I was putting him in to see what he could do, and that's exactly what I did there. So now with 3:11 to go, we will kick a field goal, kick us away. And yeah, I just suck at field goals all of a sudden. Awesome. And that missed field goal will give you your final score of 52-21. Like I mentioned in the middle of the game, I will be adjusting the slider set just a bit. I don't know if I'm going to completely change it, but I definitely need to change something. I understand UCF wasn't a good team, and BYU, none of these teams have been rated near us. I think everyone we played in this episode was under an 80 overall, but it's still, you know, not exactly fun to just be able to drop back and throw it to a wide open man because he has 98 speed and he's 6'5". So yeah, we will be changing a bit of that. Hoover finishes today with 396 yards and 5 touchdowns, did throw 1 interception. Pendergrass gets 35 yards and a touchdown. Hoover also got a rushing touchdown. And then receiving, Coleman 5 for 184 and 4 scores. It's just insane what he can do because he has 98 speed, 92 catching, 95 spectacular catching, and he's 6'5". And then Devin McQuinn also ended up with a touchdown today. Before I wrap up the episode, I do want to take a look at our conference standings, and you can see that we are still at the top, obviously, and Arizona State is still the team that may be taking us on here. But then when you go look at the college football top 25, we're now ranked number 5 in the country, which is always amazing to see. But in the next episode, we will wrap up the rest of the regular season as we take on Baylor, and then we have back-to-back home games against Utah and Kansas.